Let's get to David's question. David has a question that says, my father was in a wreck back in June of 2019. And since then, his insurance adjuster has been in regular contact with him, and some of his bills has been paid, but some have not. Now the adjuster has stopped returning his calls. What can I say to convince him, his friend, his father, that this is suspicious and that he should talk to a lawyer? What do you say to this?
I'll take that. The first thing I would say is you better tell your father that as of June 2021, your case is no longer. The statute has run and you've got no claim. So you better get to a lawyer and get a lawsuit filed very quickly because you got a couple of months left. Now, there are a lot of things about that question. Carl, you want to take some of them? Or?
Well, you know, it's kind of confusing because in most tort situations, and that's what we're talking about, the law of torts, T-O-R-T-S, torts, where you're injured by the negligence of another party, if an insurance company is involved, and especially in a motor vehicle accident, they're not going to pay any of your bills. Sometimes they will pre-settle the property damage only. But as to the medical bills, your lost income, they're not going to pay any of that until the entire case is resolved. And that's why we say all the time that these people who get on TV and talk about get a check quick, or in a wreck, get a check, or get a settlement fast, it just doesn't happen. The reason it doesn't happen is because if you're injured, then you can't evaluate or understand what the value of the case is until the person injured has achieved their maximum medical improvement, whatever that's going to be. And then you also are in position to calculate or tabulate all of the medical bills, the lost wages past, the medical bills past, the lost wages, medical bills future, if there are any, and that can be provided by expert testimony. So only then can you really come to some understanding of what the value of the case is. That's why insurance companies will not pay any of those things until they have a settlement of the whole case. So when you're ready to sign a release that you don't expect any more money out of them, they may come to the table and talk with you. You can have a mediation, or you can go to trial and get a jury verdict. But that's why it takes so much time. Cases normally take 2 to 3 to 4 years, depending on how serious the injury is. Some take 5 or 7. If it goes into medical malpractice or product liability, those are very complex and expensive cases. So none of them, unless it's a fender bender with minimal property damage and basically just a whiplash with some soreness, they don't settle quick. If they settle quick, they're settling too cheap.
Okay. Well,
one other thing I would point out to David when talking with his father, and this is something that is oftentimes overlooked by the clients that come in to see us. Just because the injury and the treatment came from an automobile wreck doesn't mean that their health insurance carrier is not responsible for paying those bills. And it sounds like David's father sitting back waiting for the other insurance company to pay the bills that have already been incurred. Some were paid, some were not. Well, you should turn that over to your health carrier. They will pay for the bills as you go along. And it's now been almost 2 years. You got to turn those over to the health carrier pretty quickly, or they can stand on ceremony and say, you didn't submit the bills to us timely, so we don't have to pay them. So
I don't understand why he doesn't have a lawyer to start with at this point in time. But certainly he can file a complaint with the insurance commissioner. By all means, get to a lawyer, have the lawyer look at it. We can't really tell from the question whether he's talking about a claims adjuster for his own uninsured motorist insurance or the adverse party, or his major health insurance. Could be any of the three.